Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach and welcome to another player profile. My last profile was Paddy Cripps, a man that I'm a massive fan of, and I'll move to another player that I've been a big fan of for a long time, as many of us in SuperCoach and the AFL world have, and that's Heeney. Highly touted from the moment he went to the Swans, and he started to fulfil that potential last year, and I think he will definitely go even better this year and really establish himself. And why is that even better for us? Because we can get him as a midfielder and a forward. Importantly, a forward. Of course, you wouldn't go picking him as a midfielder. It's a bit riskier. Probably don't see him absolutely exploding beyond 110. Therefore, it might make it a little awkward in the midfield. That's not to say he may not break that 110 barrier. He's certainly capable, but a little bit more risk. In the forward line, he's an absolute lock. There's no doubt about that. Just looking at his career as he worked through the years, obviously 2015, 12 games, averages 70, worked into 2016, 79.7, and had some really good games, really showed that he had what it took to really play some quality footy and played a fair bit forward. Where last year, we're looking at him pre-season, everyone was really getting on board. Then he got glandular fever, missed the first 4 rounds, but when he did finally get back, everyone expected him to really do well, and he did. He averaged 97.6 for the season, and he really did live up to what we had expected. He's an extremely talented player, capable of taking a high mark, really nice use of the ball, wins the hard ball, and can kick a goal. So the fact that we can get him as a forward has to make him one of your first pick players. There's no doubt about that. He'll be nicely priced. He's not breaking the bank. And his ceiling is huge. Plenty of upside. Like I said with the 110, it's unlikely, but it's not out of the realms of possibility. He's sort of getting in that range of experience, sort of like your Bontempellis, your Fifes, and your Cripps as well, where they get to that sort of 60 to 80 games and really explode. Some of those guys have shown it even earlier in their careers, but Heeney, he fits that bill. One of the guys that we've touted for a long time. He's your modern day midfielder, capable in the air, big body, taller sort of type, and he's damaging. He's got weapons. He can kick a goal. Like I said, he can certainly take a mark, but he is tough. He tackles hard. Don't get me wrong. He's not just flashing on the outside. Certainly lifted his disposals last season. Went from 16.6 per game to 20.6. Clearances was a big one. Basically doubled that and a little bit more, 1.4 to 3.1, and he nearly averages 1 contested mark per game, and he is very damaging. 330 metres per game he gains for his side, so that shows that there's no cheap touches in there. Coming around to round 1, start of the season, he'll be just about 10 and 22. He really just fits the mould for a guy that is going to really establish himself in that premium status. 97.6 was the breakout, with going up the 18 odd points per game. I think we can definitely see him crack 3 figures. Where he lies in that, I'm not sure. If I'm predicting, I'm thinking about 105-ish. Could be low 100s, could be 110, but I think he's an absolute lock for our side. He's a massive part of Sydney's team and their future. Of course, we've seen a few of their midfielders like McVeigh and Jack get a bit older, and they need the likes of Heeney to come in and really start to play some great footy, and I think he will. So, certainly the fact that Sydney ended the season so much better than they started. Those first 6 games were poor. Of course, Heeney missed 4 of those. But look, I definitely feel that he's a key part of their side, key part of their future, and he's just the exact type of player I think we want to build our forward line around. So I really do feel like he's a must for your forward line. Obviously, it's just December. A lot can happen. Injury can strike, of course, but the details that we have out in front of us, all the signs and all the categories and all the indicators you look at for a player really going that next step, they're all in front of us to see. We saw him take that reasonable step last year from a solid, promising player to a very good player. I think he can really put a stamp on the competition this year, and I really do feel like 105 to 110 is very possible. So let me know your thoughts on Heeney. As you can tell, I'm a massive rap for him. I thought I'd knock his player profile off nice and early, because unless he gets injured, I can't see my opinion changing at all. As long as he's not injured, gets a decent pre-season into him, he will be picked in my team. As soon as that M Ford came out, he's an absolute lock. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the videos. If you've got any players that you want me to take a look at, by all means comment them. Any questions, feel free to shoot those through as well. I'll get round to a few comments when I get a couple of days off in a row. But hopefully you're enjoying these podcasts being back on the air, and there'll certainly be plenty more to come. I think next up we'll have a look at Elliot Yeo, who's also a guy with a bit of positional, makes him extremely relevant, but he's an interesting case study. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll catch you soon.